Did you know that the words I am might be the most powerful words you speak all day? Studies suggest that how you label yourself not only reflects your self-concept, but shapes your entire reality. In this compelling video, we're diving deep into Neville Goddard's core principle, the power of I am. If you're feeling stuck in a career rut, frustrated with finances, or simply yearning for better relationships, this transformative teaching may hold the key to a lasting breakthrough. We'll explore why the simple act of proclaiming I am successful, I am prosperous, or I am loved can spark an immediate shift in your outer world. You'll learn practical tips to rewire your self-concept and, as a result, change your life from the inside out. Make sure to watch until the end, because we're about to reveal the single most critical factor in harnessing the power of I am. When you hear the phrase I am, it might sound like a simple statement, but in reality, it's so much more than that. It's the core of who we are, the foundation of everything that makes us, well, us. This tiny two-word phrase holds more power than most people realize. It's not just a random assertion you make in the mirror every morning, it's the first and most important declaration of identity and consciousness. Think about it, every single time you say I am, you're setting the tone for your reality. You're telling your mind, the world, and the universe who you are, what you're capable of, and what you believe. Whether you're saying I am strong or I am not good enough, that statement shapes your thoughts, actions, and ultimately, your experience in life. The way you identify yourself is everything because that identity becomes the filter through which you view and interact with the world. But here's the twist, most of us don't even realize we're doing this. We're constantly defining ourselves by the past, by our mistakes, our failures, or even by what other people think of us. We say things like, I'm not good at this, or I always mess things up, and what happens? Our reality starts to reflect exactly that. The words we speak, especially the ones we say to ourselves, create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, Neville Goddard, who is known for his teachings on the power of imagination and manifestation, emphasized that I am is not just a statement, but a declaration of consciousness. It's the declaration of your sense of self, the underlying belief that guides how you experience life. This isn't just about saying a positive affirmation every morning and hoping for the best. It's about shifting your internal self-concept, the picture you have of who you truly are. When you fully recognize the power behind I am, you begin to see that it's the key to unlocking change in every area of your life. It's almost like there's an invisible thread connecting your words, your self-image, and your life experiences. If you constantly say, I am not worthy, I am not smart enough, or I am unlucky, your mind starts accepting those thoughts as truth. You're reinforcing a self-image of limitation. But when you start embracing I am as a statement of your potential, of your greatness, everything starts to shift. You begin to act in ways that align with the new identity you're creating for yourself. It's crucial to realize that this shift doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, one that requires consistent effort and belief. The power of I am is in its ability to change your consciousness from one of limitation to one of abundance. When you see yourself as capable, as deserving, as powerful, your reality can't help but reflect that back to you. The statement I am is the most intimate thing you can say to yourself because it reveals your true nature. In essence, you are telling the world who you are, even if you're not fully aware of the implications of those words. The more you become conscious of what you're saying, especially to yourself, the more you begin to understand just how much power lies in those two simple words. So, when you recognize I am as the foundational statement of identity, you're tapping into something far deeper than just words. It's a tool for transformation. It's not just about affirming what you want, it's about embodying the person you want to become. If you want to change your life, you have to change the way you see yourself, and that starts with the way you use I am. It's all about taking back control of your narrative. You are the author of your own story, and how you define yourself determines the plot. So start with I am, and let that be the foundation from which you build a life that truly reflects who you are deep down. When you think about it, the words I am hold a lot of power, don't they? These two simple words are like the seeds from which your entire reality grows. Think about it for a moment. Every time you say I am, you're not just making a statement, you're declaring who you are, what you believe, and the very nature of your existence. It's like you're drawing a line in the sand, claiming your identity in the present and future. So, if you want to change your life, changing the way you use I am can be a game changer. When you use I am affirmations, you're not just repeating words. You're aligning yourself with the person you want to become. It's more than just wishful thinking, it's a direct way to reshape your self-concept. Your self-concept is basically the story you tell yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. If you're stuck thinking that you're someone who struggles with success, or that you're always falling short, then that's what your life will reflect. Your self-concept is like a blueprint, and every thought you think, every action you take, is based on that design. So, to change your life, you've got to start with changing that blueprint. Here's the thing, I am is like a mental switch that activates your potential. When you affirm something like I am confident, I am abundant, or I am worthy, you're rewiring your subconscious mind to accept those truths as your new reality. And when your subconscious mind accepts them, your actions, thoughts, and feelings begin to shift, too. You start showing up in life differently, more assertive, more open to opportunities, more certain that you can achieve what you desire. But here's the catch, it's not about saying the words once and expecting the world to change instantly. Consistency is key. Every time you affirm I am statements, you're building a habit, embedding those beliefs deeper into your psyche. It's a process, and like any process, it takes time and effort. You might not feel the changes overnight, but trust that every time you affirm your new self-concept, you're shifting the foundation of your reality. Now, let's talk about the nature of these affirmations. It's easy to throw around general affirmations like I am successful, but there's a deeper layer to it. You want to make sure that the words you're using actually resonate with you. If you say I am confident but inside you feel a bit of resistance or doubt, it's okay. Don't ignore it. Instead of brushing it aside, try tweaking the affirmation to something that feels more in alignment with where you're at. For example, you could say, I am becoming more confident every day. This still affirms progress but feels more accessible. The key is to make sure that what you're saying feels real, even if it's just a little bit true in the present moment. One of the most powerful aspects of I am affirmations is how they influence your emotions. When you declare I am peaceful, for instance, it doesn't just stay as a thought. Over time, it can start to settle in your body, triggering a sense of calm even when life gets chaotic. You can literally shift your emotional state just by changing what you tell yourself. And the more you connect with those emotions, the more the reality you're trying to create becomes anchored in your life. Remember, you're the author of your story. Every time you say I am, you're writing a new chapter. The world around you responds to the energy and identity you put out. So, if you're looking to change your life, the most powerful tool you have is that two-word affirmation. It's a simple yet profound way to start reshaping how you see yourself and, in turn, how the world sees you. With each declaration, you carve a path toward the reality you want, little by little. So, what are you choosing to say about yourself today? When Neville Goddard talks about persisting in the assumption of your new identity, he's not just suggesting that you adopt a new persona for a day or two. This is about fully stepping into the role of the person you are becoming and not letting go of that belief, even when the world around you seems to contradict it. It's like holding onto a vision of who you are until it becomes second nature, until you don't have to try so hard to remember that you've changed. It's not a quick fix or a fleeting decision. This is a commitment. The beauty of Goddard's teachings is that he encourages you to live as if. Imagine your new self is already here, right now. And you don't just repeat this in your mind for a few moments and expect a transformation. No, you live it. It's a persistent act of reshaping your inner world. It's about saying, "This is who I am," and letting that thought guide you through every interaction, every decision, and every moment of doubt. Over time, the feeling of being that person will no longer feel like a distant goal, it will become your reality. Now, let's be real, the world doesn't always reflect back the changes we're trying to make. You might wake up one day feeling empowered, only to face a situation that challenges your new identity. It's at this point when most people give up. They might think, "I'm trying so hard, but the old patterns keep showing up. Maybe I'm not meant to change." But the key is to persist. This persistence isn't about ignoring reality, it's about knowing that your inner world is more powerful than external circumstances. The first step to persistence is trust. You've got to trust that your assumption is powerful enough to eventually reshape your life. Sure, it can feel awkward at first. You might feel like you're wearing a suit that doesn't quite fit, but the more you wear it, the more it becomes a part of you. The awkwardness fades, and it becomes your new normal. The key is in not doubting. Every time you doubt, you're feeding the old narrative, the old identity. Instead, you need to affirm again and again that you are already the person you're becoming. But don't get hung up on the mechanics of it. There's no need for a step-by-step guide or checklist. What you're doing is transforming at a deeper level, and that doesn't always show up in obvious ways. Trust the process and allow the change to take place. It's almost like you're planting seeds in your subconscious. You can't see the roots immediately, but they're growing. Each time you reinforce your new identity, you're nurturing those roots, allowing them to take hold and eventually sprout into your new life. Here's the tricky part: it's easy to get impatient. We live in a world that expects results now, but transformation takes time, especially when you're shifting something as fundamental as your self-concept. But if you persist, eventually, the act of assuming your new identity won't require as much effort. It will simply feel like who you are. You'll find yourself reacting in ways that reflect the person you've been imagining yourself to be. You'll notice yourself making decisions and taking actions that align with this new version of you. The goal isn't to have a perfect, flawless transformation. It's not about never feeling like you're slipping back into old habits. The point is that with each slip, you remind yourself of the new you, and you keep moving forward. With time, those old habits lose their power. You'll realize that they don't even hold the same weight they once did. And one day, you'll look up and notice that you're no longer trying to be that new version of yourself, you just are. It will feel like you've always been this person. And when you've fully stepped into that new identity, your life will begin to reflect the changes you've made on the inside. So, stay persistent. Stay committed to the assumption of your new identity. Don't let the setbacks, the doubts, or the moments of discomfort derail you. Every time you persist, you're one step closer to making that identity feel completely natural. And that's when the magic happens, when who you are inside and who you are in the world are finally in alignment. It's a wild concept to think about, but the truth is, your external life is just a reflection of your internal identity. Everything you experience in the world around you is a mirror image of the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings you carry inside. It might sound a little out there at first, but when you start to really dig into it, it makes total sense. Think of it this way: if your mind is the lens through which you view the world, then whatever beliefs you hold about yourself will inevitably shape how that world unfolds. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. Every thought you have, every belief you hold, every I am statement you make, whether you're conscious of it or not, sends out a signal to the universe, and that signal starts shaping your reality. It's like a radio station. If you're tuning into a frequency that says, "I am unworthy," then guess what? The universe is going to start matching that frequency with experiences that validate that belief. You'll attract situations, people, and opportunities that mirror your inner self-concept. It's like you're unconsciously creating your life by the way you see yourself. But here's the kicker: if you want to change your external life, it all starts with shifting your internal world. The changes you're looking for on the outside won't show up until you've done the inner work. And that's where the power of Neville Goddard's teachings really shines through. He emphasizes that in order to change your circumstances, you need to change your self-concept. If you identify with being someone who's always struggling or never good enough, then your life will reflect that. But if you begin to adopt a new identity, one that's in alignment with the life you want to create, everything starts to shift. This doesn't mean you have to ignore the reality you're living in right now. No, it's more about how you perceive it. Your external reality isn't set in stone, it's fluid, it's malleable, and it's waiting for you to take control. When you start seeing yourself differently, seeing yourself as capable, deserving, and powerful, your life begins to mirror those beliefs. Your circumstances may not change overnight, but over time, things start to rearrange themselves in ways that align with your new self-image. But here's the thing. This process takes consistency. It's not like a light switch you can just flip. Your old beliefs about yourself, those limiting patterns that have been ingrained in you for years, won't just disappear with a single affirmation. You need to actively choose a new way of seeing yourself every single day. Every time you say, "I am worthy, I am capable," or "I am deserving," you're chipping away at the old version of you, the one that's been holding you back. And as you do that, something incredible starts to happen. You begin to take different actions. You start showing up in the world as the person you now believe yourself to be. You speak differently. You walk differently. You carry yourself with more confidence because you're no longer operating from a place of lack. And as you shift your internal identity, the external world begins to adjust as well. People treat you differently. Opportunities open up in places you never expected. Your reality starts to conform to the identity you've chosen for yourself. The key here is recognizing that everything starts within. The outside world isn't this thing that's happening to you, it's something that's happening because of you. When you recognize this, you can begin to take responsibility for the way things are unfolding. It's not about blaming anyone or anything for where you are right now. It's about understanding that your internal state is the driving force behind everything you experience. And if you want to see a change in your life, you've got to change the way you see yourself first. In other words, if you don't like what's showing up in your life, look at the thoughts and beliefs you've been carrying. They're likely the root cause of it all. Change those, and everything else will start to follow. The more you internalize this concept, the more power you realize you have in creating the life you want. Your external reality is simply a reflection of how you identify internally, and when you change your self-concept, the world around you changes too. So, if you're ready to experience a different life, it all begins with shifting how you see yourself, one thought at a time. When it comes to creating the life you really want, consistency is everything. It's not enough to say a few I am affirmations one day and then forget about them the next. No, the real magic happens when you repeat these affirmations day in and day out. Each time you claim I am, you're putting your energy into the kind of life you're building. It's like planting seeds. If you only water them once, they're never going to grow. But if you're consistent, if you show up for yourself every single day, you start seeing the results. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that we have to feel perfect before we can claim the life we want. But here's the truth, the I am statements are powerful precisely because they help you shift into that person you aspire to become, even before you feel fully there. Think about it. If you wake up and say, I am successful, even if you don't feel successful yet, you're already planting the thought that success is who you are becoming. With each repetition, you're reinforcing that identity until it starts to feel more like a natural part of you. But here's the thing about consistency, it's about more than just saying the words. It's about saying them with conviction, belief, and passion. If you're just reciting I am abundant like a robot, it's not going to have the same impact as when you say it from a place of feeling and intention. That's where the real shift happens. So, when you say I am, you need to really connect with those words. Let them come from the depths of who you are, even if that feels a little uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is often the sign that you're growing, expanding into something new. What's cool about I am statements is that they don't just work when you're sitting in meditation or repeating them quietly to yourself. No, they're a tool you can use all throughout the day. Whether you're brushing your teeth, driving to work, or in the middle of a conversation, you can silently claim your I am statements. This doesn't just create a shift in your mind, it also begins to shift the way you show up in the world. You start acting from a place of certainty and purpose. You walk, talk, and move differently because you're embodying the version of yourself you're affirming. But here's where people get tripped up. They think they need to say the I am statements exactly right. Like there's some kind of magical formula. Truth is, it's not about saying the right thing, it's about saying the thing that resonates with you. If you're feeling stuck, or maybe a little frustrated with how things are going, it might be hard to jump straight to I am successful or I am abundant. And that's okay. You can start where you're at, and still make progress. Something like, I am on my way to success, or I am open to abundance can still have the same powerful effect. It's all about finding the words that feel true to you at this moment in time. The key is repetition, plain and simple. The more you repeat the I am statements, the more your subconscious mind begins to accept them as your new truth. It doesn't take weeks or months, but just consistent, intentional practice. Eventually, your thoughts, actions, and even your feelings start to align with those affirmations. You might even start noticing subtle shifts in your environment as your internal world begins to match your external reality. So, what kind of life do you want? What version of yourself do you want to step into? It all starts with your daily claims. Each time you affirm your new self-concept with those two words, I am, you take a step toward it. It doesn't matter if you're not seeing massive changes right away, the fact that you're showing up, day after day, is what really makes the difference. You're laying the foundation for the life you want to live. Stick with it, and watch as the shifts begin to happen, in both the small and the big ways. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about commitment. So, commit to those I am statements, and let them lead you toward the life you've always imagined. Keep showing up for yourself, and in time, your reality will follow. That's it for today, Modern Stoics. Remember, the words I am carry immense power. By shifting your self-concept and affirming who you truly are, you're unlocking the power to change your entire reality. If this video inspired you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more life-changing insights. I'd love to hear how you're using the power of I am to transform your life, so leave a comment below and share your journey. Stay empowered, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next one.